Hey, welcome to the Christian Media Marketing Show. Thanks for hanging out with me today. My name is John, and on behalf of the whole Kavanaugh Media team, thanks for deciding to spend some time with us. I hope it is a benefit to you. I'm always reminded of the responsibility that we have to all of us to do our best for the King and to always rely upon His power through His Spirit and His grace. And so I'm grateful for all of those things, not just when we receive it, but also as we see it playing out in other people's lives who are laboring to make Jesus famous, to see the renewal of all things. So we are in an exciting time where technology allows us to do a lot of things, and things change a lot. And sometimes things change, and then we never go back to a way we used to do things. I'm seeing this right now in targeting and areas like Meta and funnels and things like that. And as much as you or me want things to be the way they were, well, it's not. Things are constantly changing. But then sometimes there's things that I think is important for us to be reminded actually still do work and are important. And so, yes, things are changing. And in fact, next week and the week after that, for a 2-week series, I'm going to be talking about AI and some of its usages and concerns and opportunities and all sorts of stuff about AI itself here in a couple of weeks, Lord willing. But what I want to talk to you about today is something that's kind of old school, and that's simply leveraging SEO or search engine optimization for digital missions. So if you're doing any kind of digital engagement, media to movement, whatever kind of things that you're doing there, whatever labels you put on it, if you're trying to make Jesus known and connect to people online, and hopefully that leads to offline, people being saved, groups being formed, churches being started, all of the fun stuff. All right, if that's what you're trying to do, then how can SEO play a part in that? Now, some would say that search engine optimization isn't even really important anymore. That with websites and all that kind of stuff, that's just not the key thing. But I think it is. I actually think that it's still something that's very, very powerful. And I know that when someone has a question, many times they just go straight to Google. That's part of the process for them. And so they search for specific things. And the key here is that we want to really know, all right, what is it that people are searching for, and then go that way. So some of the things that people search for are questions. Who is Jesus? What does the Bible say about whatever? Suffering's a big one of that. How can I find peace in my life or hope? I know during COVID that the word hope was searched for and increased just in huge rates on Google. Now, you might think, well, do people still go to search engines with things like ChatGPT and other types of AI and tools out there? And the answer is yes, I think people still do. But I actually think it's going to be interesting that tools like ChatGPT and Gemini and others are beginning to make an inroads when people search. If you go to Google, Gemini itself will show up there at the top. And we'll probably have an episode here where we talk about specifically tailoring your content for those kind of search engines for things like Gemini to be able to pull from them. But the truth is, people still go to Google and they still go to YouTube. They are definitely searching. And when they're searching, we want to make sure that it's our content that they're seeing. So this is the whole concept of SEO, search engine optimization. And it ensures that the content that we create is discoverable. So when people are searching for answers, they've already shown their intent. This is a pull strategy. We're pulling them from the search engine result page. So social media posts, all of these things go, they come, they're big, they flash, whatever else, they're gone. They've got a 15-minute shelf life. But SEO, when done right, gives your content long-term visibility. It really helps seekers find you organically over time. Now, there's a lot of stuff with digital engagement that really has to use paid marketing. And a lot of the stuff that used to be like, oh, well, just like our Facebook page, it's not working. Nobody's going to that. Video content, reels, things like that, yeah, that can still have some impact organically. But if you want to have consistent results, then you want to do paid. There's a way to use your SEO and your organic content even with your paid strategies. So let's talk a little bit just about how mission teams can use SEO. All right. So there's at least 5 things here that I think can be done. First of all, create content that answers questions. Make sure you understand the questions that people are asking in your context. So this could be blog posts or articles. Videos would be a great one that you could be doing that address these spiritual questions that people are asking. Testimonies, stories can be very SEO friendly. And so it's good to do that. If you have testimonies of how I found hope in Jesus, that would be perfect. All right. So make sure you understand the questions that people are asking and then answer those kind of questions. Is the Bible corrupt? There's one team in North Africa had a blog post. This thing's been seen tens of thousands of times because they put it out there and they've ran ads to it. But even organically, people keep searching. And because it's been viewed so much, it's showing up high in the search engine result page. Make sure if you're making videos that you're optimizing for YouTube and for video SEO. So YouTube is the world's second largest search engine, and Google owns it. So there's ways for you to optimize your video titles, your descriptions, even if you put a transcript up with relevant keywords that can help seekers find your content. You can use end tags, so much more. And so when you're putting out gospel-centered, good news types of videos, make sure you take the time to make sure that they are SEO friendly, that when people are searching for them, that they can pop. And you can use this once again for paid. You can do paid YouTube ads. This is a great combination to be able to do both and to really see, okay, what's working, what's resonating. Use tools that Google has, Google Ads has for keywords and search history, things like that, and really optimize then your video content for YouTube and video search engine optimization. Third one, multilingual. Some of you are running ads where you have people that speak more than one language. So maybe English isn't their first language. Well, then make sure, obviously, that we're always putting content in the local language. But if you have more than one language that's spoken, then make sure that you have multiple languages being represented in the search engine optimization for that. So you can use href language tags. You can use non-English speaking regions. You can use all sorts of tags and things that will expand the reach when you put those extra tags into it. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you understand the languages if there's more than one. And then I would encourage you, if you're doing even videos, and put the titles on it, do all that search engine stuff, but burn the subtitles to it, and then maybe have stuff in multiple languages, because you may have generational young people that hear it but don't speak it, or vice versa. So make sure that your content is multilingual if that's an issue where you are working. India, I know it is, and several other places where it's important to have multilingual content. Leverage local SEO for on-the-ground follow-up. Now, obviously, if you're near a location where it's security risk, don't do this one. But if you're connecting with seekers locally, make sure that your ministry partners are visible on Google if you're not in a place where security is an issue for you. So if somebody types in, "Where is a church near me?" you want your stuff to show up. So what are they searching for? What are the questions that they're asking? But there's local SEO. Google can help you with this. So if it's not a security risk, think local SEO results as well. Fifth, just improve your technical SEO. Make sure that your websites are loading fast. Make sure that they're mobile friendly. All of this is really important. All right. And so make sure that what you're doing works fast, because Google and others look at that. That impacts how your results show up. Another thing is just thinking about the future of search. And this is where tools like Siri or Alexa or whatever can come into it. Gemini, ChatGPT. And that is really doing things where you're using the tools that are there, okay? And so when you're doing social media and when you're doing voice and when you're doing all this kind of stuff, it's really important that you're using it in multiple places and in multiple ways. So I think it's important that you share your blog post on social media, because that can drive traffic, which signals to Google that your content is valuable. People are clicking on it. Encourage people to share your content naturally. Do questions and things, do awards that people can say, hey, I got 8 out of 10 of guessing this, of the top Bible people, or whatever it might be. So the more shares you have, the better your Google rankings are. And your YouTube videos do make an impact in ranking in Google search. All right. So just be thinking about how you can use all of these pieces together. Find ways to use your content in more than one place and in more than one way when you're doing it. And then when it comes to voice and AI with Siri, with Alexa, there are these voice assistants where people are beginning to ask questions like, who is Jesus? And what does the Bible say about whatever? It could be forgiveness or suffering, like we talked about earlier. But I think voice search is something that we need to be on top of. It's a trend, and it's, I think, going to continue to grow. So whether it's Siri, Alexa, Google, whatever, these questions are there, and you can optimize your content for natural conversational keywords that make sure then that your gospel-centered content is actually discoverable in voice search results. All right, make it easy. So the phrases that they would do, well, they're scraping those answers. So make your results very easy, very voice search like, and so that it can scrape that and potentially be used for these vocal tools that are out there. All right. So is SEO still needed for digital missions? Absolutely. I think SEO is a long-term investment. I think it's something that we need to be thinking about in all of our content as we're creating it. And I think that this is something that if we really think about it, if we're really thinking through, okay, just what is the plan? What are we wanting to accomplish? Instead of constantly burning ourselves out trying to find the latest thing, let's try to use our content in as many ways as possible and optimize it so that when people are searching, they're going to be able to find that. Paid ads are important. Social media is good. But I think making sure that your content is set up for long-term search as well is really important. All right. So I hope that that's a benefit for you. I hope that it spurs you to look through your website and your content and thinking through how you're developing it, how you're setting it up. As always, if we can help you in some way, we would love to be able to do that. As I said, Lord willing, the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about AI and some of the things. I've been reading a ton on this. I've got a talk coming up at a conference about it. I've got a magazine article and some other things. So I've been researching a ton and doing some stuff with it. And I think it's, well, as one of the books that I read, I think it's a coming wave and we need to be ready. All right. So if this podcast or video show is a benefit, click subscribe, click like, tell somebody about it. We really do appreciate it. This is a labor of love for you all and for the kingdom, and we're just grateful to be able to do this for our King. So we pray that it will bless you in all you do to make Jesus famous. Until next time, take care and God bless.